Hello everyone and welcome to Ferris Sports Update on the Bulldog Sports Network. I'm your host Rob Bentley, and today we'll talk Bulldog football, and with us head coach Jeff Pierce. Coach, thanks for being with us here today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
The Bulldogs just about ready to start spring football. I know it's hard to believe a little bit with the weather outside, but an important time of the year for your team and your program as you build towards the fall.
Yeah, no question about it. Mother Nature threw us a little curveball here with the snow, but we're going to back things up a day or two, until things kind of thaw out a little bit. But we're looking excited about getting into spring football. It's a great opportunity for us as a football program to tweak some things that we have to improve on. After last football season, we go back and we evaluate the things that we do well and don't do well, and there's some things that we definitely have to make some strong improvements on in the spring, and we're concentrating on that. Spring gives us an opportunity not only to do that, but also the opportunity to evaluate some of our younger players and kind of see where they are in the program and whether they're going to be competitive for us next year and fill some of those gaps.
You obviously just came off your winter conditioning program. I know that was a good off-season program. Talk a little bit about the progress some of your guys made, maybe in the weight room and through their conditioning in the off-season.
Well, it's a year-round commitment to be a successful college athlete, and it's no different for football or any of the other athletic teams. It takes a real strong commitment over the off-season. These guys have been working out since Christmas time, since we've gotten back, and they're in the weight room 4 days a week, and we're up at 6 o'clock in the morning running and doing all those kind of things. So it shows us a couple different things. It shows us whether the guys are committed to the football program, and you bring in about close to 40 new people every year into your organization, and some of these kids are not ready to make the commitment necessary to be a college football player, and when you have to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and do some of those things, and are pushed and tested, and we have a real strict disciplinary program, and either you buy in and stay in or you move on, so but we've seen some great improvement over the course of the off season. Our guys still have a little chip on their shoulder. It's kind of fun to see them with a little fire in their eye, and we're excited about taking that, the strength development and the conditioning that we've done during the wintertime and putting it onto the football field in spring football.
You capped off your winter workouts with the Bulldog Challenge Lift-a-thon event this past week. Jim Wink Arena, I know an important event for your program in terms of fundraising, but also a chance to build some team unity, a number of different competitions involved, and just an enjoyable evening.
Yeah, we changed the format a couple years ago. At one time we were doing maximum lifts on the bench press, and we were throwing up around 500 pounds on a bench and things like that, and you're doing that the week before you get into spring football, and you got guys popping biceps and doing some stuff, with trying to lift all that kind of weight, and we kind of got away from that. We're doing bench press reps and to see how many times they can rep at 225 pounds, and that's a one-shot deal, a little bit of a safer situation. And we had a couple guys tie at the heavy class with 35 reps each. One of them actually was a freshman in our football program, so that's pretty impressive. But it really exposes our guys at the end of their winter workout program to show in front of all of their teammates and families on what they've done over the course of the wintertime. And we also get into some speed events we took the fastest 40-yard dash guys by position and ran a 20 with them, and we did some agility drills and a tug of war, and then threw a little bit of a talent show at everybody at the end, and that's kind of more of a team building type of thing. Guys get out of their comfort zone a little bit, but they have to work together as a group and kind of put something together. So these are things that not only are you trying to build the individual, but you're trying to build your football team as a team during this off season.
As you move from the winter workouts into spring ball now, what are some of the biggest things you hope to accomplish this spring?
Well, I mentioned earlier about as a coach and being involved with this for a number of years, I mean, you need to look at what you're strong at, and you need to look at what you're not so strong at, and you need to make those improvements. It's not going to get better by itself. And going back and looking at last season, it was obvious we struggled on special teams, and for a number of different reasons. It wasn't one particular thing, but we've made a tremendous commitment towards an investment towards our special teams program going into spring football, and as far as how we're going to staff it and getting more coaches involved with the different positions and having more players involved, and we're going to spend a lot more time preparing our athletes, in meetings and fundamental drill work and things like that too. It's not just the guy kicking the football, it's all the other guys, the 10 other guys that surround him. So, we're really making a huge commitment towards that. We'll continue, to develop with our defense, and we've got a pretty sound system that we've used over a number of years that will get this new group of guys, some of these young guys, kind of more in their comfort zone with what we're doing there. I think our offense will be an opportunity to take a pretty decent stride going from year 1 to year 2 with the system that we're using right now, and I think you'll really see our players, pick it up another notch, and we'll get an opportunity to kind of get into doing some different things, taking it a step further than we were last year. And I'm really excited to have Tom Snyder going into his senior year in our program, as a quarterback and running that offense, and he'll be a lot more comfortable with the things that we're doing. And we've got a good group of guys. It's going to be exciting leading up into next football season.
Does it help with the continuity of being able to have your entire coaching staff coming back? I know last year you had a couple coaches coming in right when spring ball started, in addition to installing a new offense. I'm sure that would help coming into the spring.
Oh, no question. I mean, when you have transition, with coaches and different things like that, it really is challenging to get all on the same page. We did have a little bit of a transition. Coach Bell, who was our defensive line and strength and conditioning coach, had an opportunity to move on and move up. So we, shuffled some people on staff around. So there is a little bit of that going on, but it's always good to be able to work together and know, what each other are trying to get accomplished.
The spring workouts, I guess we'll conclude with the Crimson and Gold Spring Game on April 21st at Top Taggart Field. Kind of like the Lift-a-thon, a nice event for the fans and really an opportunity for some of your kids to show what they can do in a game-type situation. Yeah,
we try to make it fun. Even though there's a ton of work involved being a college athlete, you still have to have fun playing the game. And depending on our depth going into that game, we'll have to look at exactly how we can do that. There's been times where we've been able to split the team up even with a draft and doing things like that. And then there's other times based on certain positions you might not have enough depth to do that, So, we'll have to kind of evaluate that as we go through spring ball. But it's going to be on a Thursday night. That's Easter weekend, so we've kind of bumped it up to a Thursday night so people can be away for the holidays and things like that. And then we'll kind of conclude our spring drills. And, we're looking forward to showing people what we're all about.
Coach, thanks for stopping by, and hopefully the weather holds up this spring, and best of luck going into the fall.
Thank you.
That's going to do it for another episode of Ferris Sports Update on the Bulldog Sports Network. Reminder, you can follow all the action online at ferrisstatebulldogs.com. Thanks for tuning in.